I was thinking that why is it that we are not able to, even the students also, we are not able to give a taste of the virtues or the taste of a quality to the student. So if we tell them that you should love everybody, you should be very disciplined, it will not work. We have to somehow give that taste of a disciplined life. Why are we taking to discipline? Why are we taking to virtuous life? What is the taste of that? See, a good music, unless a person hears it and appreciates it and his mind becomes peaceful by that, until the inner effect is there, he will not start loving music. But once you have given it, suppose people talk about meditation very much, but a real love for meditation will come when a person is able to have a very peaceful or joyful sitting in meditation. Then we don't have to tell. Again and again he would like to do that. So how to give the children a taste? Stories will give them a real taste of the virtues. The first story I have taken, it is not a story, it's a real event which had taken place, but many of you may know about it also. A boy used to go with the father to a park every evening, and as they generally would always ask for ice cream or chocolate or so, that ice cream walas were there, and the father used to buy an ice cream for him. Every day he was taking. And in India you will find always in such parks there will be some urchin boys around who would, when you throw the cup, whatever is sticking to that, they would lick it, take like that, which is a very pathetic sight, but we are used to that sight. Those who take the ice cream, they never think about it also. They don't feel shy of eating in front of them also. We are used to this culture, this kind of happening. Now what happened is that every day the boy used to take. Now one day when he was going, that father felt like telling that, don't you feel like sharing your ice cream with that boy? And the boy immediately reacted that, yes, every day I am getting, today I will share. So he even did not take anything, the full cup of the ice cream, he offered the urchin boy who was every day standing and licking the cups like that. So he gave it, and when that urchin boy was taking, the poor boy was taking the ice cream, then seeing that, this boy started feeling a joy. Every day he only eats it. It's a joy of the tongue. Today he has sacrificed the ice cream for another person to give him joy. So it's a different kind of joy which he was getting. Now what happened is that it's a real story. It's not a story. It's a real event. What happened is that after eating the half of the cup, this boy looked up. He was standing below a tree, a big tree. He looked upwards, and a monkey came down. The boy gave that half cup to the monkey. And when the monkey was eating, this boy also was very happy. The poor boy today, he could give a portion of his ice cream to the monkey. So altogether it was a very joyous sight for the father as well as the son. Now generally the father will not take that event to introduce some knowledge in the child. We just see, we enjoy, and we forget about it. But such events can easily be transformed into a tablet of knowledge or into a bombshell of knowledge where you can get a lot of, which will remain permanently with you. So in that case the father could have asked that every day you taste the ice cream and you have a certain joy. But today you had some, is it not a different kind of joy? And what is the difference between the two joys? Suppose in eating the ice cream, if he is given after 2, 3, say 10 ice creams I want him to eat, will he get any more joy? So the joy is not in the ice cream. The joy is welling from within. The source of the joy is always within. But here it is dependent on the ice cream. In the other case, it is a joy of sacrifice. That sacrifice or sharing, that sharing joy is originating from the mind. And that sharing joy can be created without the material sharing also. Suppose he remembers that event later on also. Will he not feel joyous? When we read the story or the event, we felt so happy about it. Anybody hearing, if he has a mind, proper human mind, will be happy hearing it. So this joy is never in the ice cream tasting joy, it is over with the eating of the ice cream. In this case, it is almost, you can call it eternal. Whenever you want, you remember it and you get the joy. And everybody can share the joy. By that, the joy will only increase. Joy will never decrease. Is it not so? The ice cream joy is very small. It will go with the, as soon as the ice cream is over or before that even. So, the events which happen around, if we are aware, if we are alert, if we are conscious of around whatever is happening around, I have found that every day there would be at least 5 to 10 events which can be interpreted in such a manner or gone into in such a manner that they become great events of learning for us as well as the children. We can easily do it. And what is happening? By that you are giving a feel of a higher joy. Is it not so? If you ask the boy to now compare the two joys, the eating ice cream and this joy, which is higher? He should become thoughtful and say that this is the higher joy. So, once you have known that this is the higher joy, will you run after higher joy or lower joy? But generally people will again run after lower joy. Higher joy will be there very few and we will keep it stocked in the loft. Because we cannot leave our lower joy. That is, the sensory joys we cannot leave easily. But still, with that, can we not cultivate the higher joy also? And as we grow more and more, we will be given to the higher joy more and more. So it gives a real taste of where lies the higher joy, where from it is coming. That it is not in only the sensory joy, but it is something originating from a sharing from our mind.